All right. We're live all by myself because Alexis is still under the weather. I need to go check and make sure I actually went live as I'm supposed to go. Let's go look at all the, yep, we're live here. Sorry for the delay, guys. We had to go over to StreamYard. Alexis is still under the weather. Bobby's audio's acting up. So all y'all got is me. So sorry about that. But more importantly, you got to win. 82-256 over Alabama. It's also the first time Tennessee has won at Alabama since 2014. As hard as that is to believe, because Tennessee used to dominate the series, but obviously we're in a different era. Bobby is here in the comments. There's Nancy, howdy, Renee, howdy, Olivia, howdy. I'm very sorry it's only the 2 MC portion of the show. Poor Alexis is not feeling well, so please keep her in your thoughts. She's having a rough go of it, and she wanted to be here, but she just wasn't able to make it. She saw part of the game. She's very happy with the score, because I think everybody knows you don't want to lose to Alabama. If you're a Tennessee fan, you do not want to lose to Alabama. Tennessee now goes to 3-1 in the SEC, and because of that, Terry Holder at Orange Mountain Designs is offering $31 hoodies right now in honor of this win. So you can get that at orangemountaindesigns.com. Please always take care of our sponsors: Blue Water Climate Control, Tennessee Tap House. These are the people that make sure we keep this going. So $31 for a hoodie. These hoodies are fantastic. It is cold. I walk a lot, and what I do is make sure I got a hoodie on so I can keep my head warm, keep my upper body warm, go outside even when it's 20, 30 something degrees. It has been cold here. I am, of course, wearing an Orange Mountain Designs Pat Summit t-shirt. It says Pat Summit on the front. What more do you need? That says it all. Definite dozen is on the back, but really, that's what you need, Pat. That's why we're all doing what we do. Back Pat. What a week it's been to back Pat. It was very nice to see Tennessee earn the right, as Renaya Davis said, to have Summit on the back of those jerseys. Renaya said they certainly didn't play like a Summit team against Georgia in that third quarter when they lost at home, but a good team will regroup. You could go in there with a hangover from Georgia, or you could go in there and make a point. Tennessee went in there and made a point. I do want to say Alabama is a much better team than what I saw today. I have watched some of their other games, and the Crimson Tide just had one of those. They couldn't get the good shots, or the good shots they got, they couldn't hit. They couldn't get the shots they wanted. Credit Tennessee's defense on some of that, though, and they misfired at the free throw line. So, I mean, Lady Vols fans know you can just put together an awful game sometimes, and Alabama is a much better team than what they showed today. So the SEC is a lot of fun. Like I was talking to Coach Curry after the game and the post game, SEC basketball is must-watch TV right now. You don't know what's going to happen in any game. South Carolina has separated itself. Still a ways to go, but otherwise, you just never quite sure what you're going to get in a game, and I highly recommend you tune in. Lots of prayers for Lex. I'm sure she will appreciate that. She may see this later. Jessica said, I am super impressed with Jordan's improvement. I can see her evolving into a strong leader in time. I 100% agree. I asked Kelly about the fact that, it's easy to forget Jordan Horston and Tamari Key are sophomores because they're being asked to play like upperclassmen, and they are really starting to get on the same page. Kelly complimented Jordan Horston because she said she's always got her eye on Tamari inside. She's running the offense, doing what she's supposed to do, but she's watching for that second when Tamari can come open to get her the ball. And that is a good chemistry, and it takes time to build that chemistry, and those two are doing very well. Horston had 7 assists on only 2 turnovers. I think Tennessee had 6 turnovers going into the fourth quarter, got a little loose in the fourth quarter. I think they finished with 12. I'd have to look up that exact number. In fact, I can look it up right now if I can pull up my screen. Tennessee finished with, let's look at the visitor stats. Tennessee finished with, where's the turnover stat? 12. Okay, so I had it right. That's good to know. Good to know I can still think. So that's what you've got to do. We're not talking about the kneeling in the locker room. Don't watch again. Fine, don't watch again. Don't watch this show either, quite frankly. Just enough. You've made your point. You've gotten your attention. Stop. Because we're tired of it. If you don't want to watch again, don't watch again. But I can't understand why the heck you're on this show either. So please get off. Sorry, I'm going to be very blunt. But yes, Vandy is hanging. I had that game on. I flip it around between games. And it looked like Vandy was hanging tight. Vandy has been hurt by COVID. They have barely been at practice. And it's also like Alabama was playing its in this game, they were playing its 6th SEC game of the season, and whereas Tennessee's had only played that would be number 6 for Alabama, and it would have been number 4 for Tennessee. So some teams have played more SEC games than others. I don't know how it's all going to sort out in the end, how the SEC is going to strike the balance it needs and make up some of these games, but I'm just glad I do not do the schedule. I'll let the SEC handle that. Yeah, the dribble drive, Glenda Hoover, the dribble drive is the hardest thing to stop. Even Pat Summitt said that it is the hardest thing to stop on defense. And some of it depends on when you rotate and when you don't. I mean, Jordan Horston took it to him. She did that up and under step through and she had 3 defenders around her and still got to the basket. So, but I agree. Dribble drive, you got to get down in a stance and keep somebody in front of you, but that is not as easy as it sounds. And so I do understand that it could be something that you would say would drive you crazy. But I also will put on the flip side of that, will say it's one of the hardest things to stop. At any level of basketball, one of the hardest things to stop, because once you get that player going downhill, it's hard to keep them in front of you without fouling. One of the best things to have is a shot blocker at the end to clean it up. That can help a team, because if they get by the first line of defense, then they should meet a second level. But if the post player has to leave the player she's guarding to come up and get the person on the dribble drive, then there's a good chance the player's just going to pass off to that open player. So, wow, thanks for the update. Vandy's up by 2 right now. I think Kimberly said that I think they only have 7 players available today. Vandy in Kentucky has 3 out. Yeah, it's I see where Stanford lost in overtime. It is a season where I think you're going to see a lot of these type of scores, because it's just an odd season for every team, and it could sort of be where your team is at mentally that day. I mean, these kids are going through multiple COVID tests, complete isolation. You don't have that energy from the crowd. A lot of time, even if the crowd is pulling against you, most players will say, I don't mind. I just want some noise. I want to hear something. And it's good. It's a grind this season. I have said it. I'll say it again. Whoever gets to the end of this season holding that trophy is a survivor of that game. Jessica said, happy to see Emily in earlier and every player get an opportunity. Yes. I mean, Emily can give them some good minutes. And when you have an aggressive post attack and post players are going to get tired, it is very hard to guard in the paint. You're being held and bumped and just a lot of contact in the paint. It will physically wear you down to guard in the paint. So it's always good to have a rotation of paint players that can come in and give somebody some help. Texas Tech beat Texas. Wow, I didn't know that score. Thanks, Gina. I appreciate y'all keeping up on all this. Amanda said, great to see Kean and Jaden. Yes, that's a very good sign. That means Jaden is getting on the other side of what was keeping her out. And it means Kian is, physically and emotionally getting better, because you got to recover as much mentally from having your season just suddenly ended like that as you do physically. Obviously, she's out for the year, and she is eligible, thank goodness, to come back because of the new rules with the COVID-19. So even though she's a graduate transfer, if this had happened in any other year, Kian would be done. This injury came late enough to where she would actually no, that happened to her before they went to Indiana. Actually, she would have been eligible, now that I think about it, for a red shirt anyway, even without the extra year. But it's nice to know that she doesn't have to even apply for it. It's an automatic thing if she wants to come back. And she has not said anything yet. Obviously, her focus is getting healed, but I think it's very likely Kian will come back. This is not how she wants her college career to end. She wants a full season. So Renee, we're brilliant minds here. I see your question. Just talking about it, I personally see Kian coming back. I cannot tell you with certainty that that's happening. Kian has not said that. But in my opinion, I think it is much more likely that she comes back than that she doesn't. I think she wants a full year. I think she came to Tennessee to play basketball and got cheated out of that because of the worst injury in the game. So I think she will. I can't really say enough about Jordan and Tamari, how they started out that game, because Tennessee has a size advantage. Alabama has some size and some good post players, but Tennessee is still just big. And Jordan and Tamari got on the same page very quickly in that game and established, okay, Tennessee, this is how we're going to score. We're going to score in the paint and open up the outside. So they did a great job of setting the tone. I'm pretty sure all y'all were thinking the same thing I was at halftime. Oh, okay, big lead. That doesn't mean anything. Now what? And the third quarter did not start off that well. A couple turnovers, bad shot, and Kelly called a timeout at 8:40 mark. So that was a very quick timeout, not even 2 minutes into the third quarter, and it was a needed timeout because she made her point and Tennessee got back on track, and the score, I think, was basically even in the third quarter. I think Tennessee was like 24-22. Obviously tied in the first quarter, 16-16, and then the fourth quarter was just sort of an offensive slowdown as both teams were just getting to the end. But that second quarter is where Tennessee flipped the game, 26-7. That was the scoring differential in the second quarter. And you put a team in that kind of a hole, and they are going to struggle to come back. And that's exactly what happened. Let's see. Will Tuesday night be our preview of the UConn game? Cheryl, I'm not sure I'm following. What is Tuesday night? If you're talking about pregame story or media, we will talk to Kelly more next week in advance of the UConn game. The UConn game, of course, will be Thursday at 7. So I'm not sure I'm following your question. If you want to ask again, I'll make sure I follow it. Karen said, does this show you that good teams still find a way to win and the parity of the game that Pat wanted? Absolutely, Karen. Like I said, the SEC is must watch. You don't know what's going to happen in any game. Like y'all said with I'm going to flip it over, and I've been flipping back and forth between games. I will catch what y'all are talking about with Kentucky and Vanderbilt. And y'all help me keep an eye on the time because they have got another show coming up, and I think I have to be out of here by 6:25. Oh, Roadshow on Tuesday. God, Cheryl, you're so smart. I was sitting here thinking I need a great topic for the Tuesday Roadshow. Thank you, Cheryl. Yes, that will exactly be what we'll be talking about is UConn, Tennessee. So I was actually going to write up a script tonight of things we were going to talk about, and that certainly will lead. So thank you. Yeah, and hopefully I got my buddy back, the buck of 2MC back. And we'll have both of us. Jessica, I think he is tied, and UConn plays Butler, I believe, on Tuesday. Obviously, UConn has had some games ended because of COVID issues with their opponent. So UConn is waiting for another opponent which would be Tuesday against, I believe, against Butler. Don't hold me to that because I was just looking to see who they would play. I was hoping they would have a game before they got to Tennessee. I don't think anybody wants to see any chance of that record being set at the Summit. So if they play Butler, I imagine a lot of Tennessee fans are suddenly going to become, I won't say UConn fans, but they'll be pulling for Butler not to pull off an upset. Maybe that's the best way to put it. But Colorado upset Stanford. I think you're going to see these upsets all season. I just think it's such an unusual situation with teams and COVID and practice and disruptions. And I just think you're going to see a little bit like Baylor losing its 61-game home winning streak against Iowa State. Now, Iowa State's a very good team. And Kim Mulkey had just gotten back from having COVID herself. And the team had, the first time they'd seen them with their coach in I think 2 weeks, because she actually had COVID. Orange Mountain Design says, Maria, I'm digging the long hair. You should not get it cut until after the Lady Vols win their next SEC title. My goodness. At that point, well, let's hope. Let's see if they can just win one this season. But that's going to be hard because South Carolina is separating itself. But because I need a haircut. Yeah, but I'm not going to, I told people I'm not dying on that COVID hill. I mean, there'll be chances everybody takes, but getting a haircut is not a chance I'm going to take. I don't know how I could I want people out of my space, 6 feet out of my space, and it's impossible to get your hair cut that way. Ryan Howard is out with an ankle injury. That's a big, all right, Renee, thank you for that, because Ryan Howard is a big part. I mean, she's the engine. She pulls that team, and the rest of the team gets in that slipstream behind her. So that's a tough one. And Vandy, I mean, every team in the SEC has athletes that can beat you. And it's just hard in this league. Like Dean always said, this is a league for grown women. Kimberly got her first dose Wednesday. Awesome. I cannot wait. I'm thinking I'm in the March-April group. I cannot wait to get mine. Jaden traveled with the team. Any word on her return to the floor? Kathy, if she traveled with the team, that is a very good sign, because that means she's healthy and recovered from the things that were keeping her out. And I would think that would get her on track to get back. She's got to get back to practice. You can't be off. I mean, she's been off the court since mid-December. So you can't she's got to get back physically ready. So it was really good to see Jaden. She was courtside at the home game too, but we had not seen her for several weeks. So it was good to see her on Twitterverse, as I call it, and good to see her healthy. Massengill and that, no wonder. Okay, thank you, Kimberly. I'm so focused on Tennessee, I just have to catch scores on the other. Massengill and Benton are also out for Kentucky with COVID. I mean, that's a chunk of that is a huge chunk of Kentucky's offensive power and defense. So that's hard. And I know Mississippi State, unfortunately, came off that bad loss to not bad loss. Alabama's a great team. Came off that loss to Alabama, then had to face A&M, which was going to be mad. My dogs are not behaving, which was going to be very mad about losing to LSU. So, and obviously A&M took it to Mississippi State today. So it's fun. If you're a fan, it's fun. If it's your team that's having the struggle, like Georgia, Tennessee, then it's not so much fun. But if you just love SEC women's basketball, you're having a lot of fun watching this season and so many other games across the country. I promised Bobby we would get out of here at 6:25. So I am definitely going to get out of here. So he's got another show starting at 6:30. We'll be up, Marty, be able to buy tickets. I believe upper level tickets are still available. My watch says 6:25, Karen. Because he's got to set up the other show. So I have to give him 5 minutes to get that other 6:30 show set up. But I didn't explain that well, so thank you. But I believe you can still get tickets. There are single game tickets on sale. I believe they're upper level. So if you can get there Thursday, 7 o'clock, can't have, there won't be more than 4,000, but at least there'll be some. I can't wait to walk back in that arena and hear Rocky Top and 10, 12,000 people screaming at the top of their lungs. I'm ready. So get your shots, stay healthy. Let's get out of this pandemic and get back. So thank you guys for coming. Sorry for the just the 2MC part of the Bucking 2MC. Hopefully Alexis will see the comments. And everybody stay safe, stay warm. Go get your $31 hoodie because Tennessee is 3-1 from OrangeMountainDesigns.com. Support Tennessee Tap House, Blue Water Climate Control. And as always, back pat. Always back pat. All right. Peace out, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.